is not going to stop us. Type 1 diabetes is, going to join our family. We're not going to let it run our family.
Denver. What was life like before diabetes?
It was a lot easier. I didn't have to take so much shots and prick my finger so much times, and I didn't have to always watch my blood sugar and be careful with more of my eating and stuff.
Life before diagnosis was a whole lot easier. We would leave the house without any worries and eat whenever we wanted to and go wherever we wanted to.
Yeah, you didn't really have to, think about your full day. Where are you going to be? What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be eating? Who are you going to be around? And, so those types of steps that you have to think about as being a parent of a diabetic and being a diabetic, it was simplistic before. You didn't realize how easy it was, really.
Tell me about the day you were diagnosed with diabetes.
Yeah, so it was January 4th, 2018, and I woke up that morning and I was really excited to go play outside in the snow. And I haven't eaten for 2 days, and I was just outside in the snow playing all day. I knew I had a doctor's appointment at 4 in the afternoon around that time. And so I was playing all day in the snow, and my mom, she asked me if I still want to go to the doctor's appointment, and I said yeah, because I knew something was wrong with me. I was drinking so much water, I was peeing a lot just in the bathroom, and also I was getting really sick and not eating, and so yeah, I did want to go to the doctor's.
A snow day for school. Schools were out that day, and actually he'd been playing outside, running around like any typical kid. But he rarely had an appetite that whole week. His stomach had been hurting really bad, and then we go to the doctors, and they did a urine test on him, and sure enough, broke the news in the pediatrician's office. Just Denver and I were there, and they said, we'll assess him to see if we need to call for an ambulance or a helicopter, or if you can take him to Children's National. And I was like, my kid was playing out in the snow all day. Are you kidding me? He's fine. And, they assured me he was very sick. And after assessing him, they did say that I could drive him there. And the whole way to Children's, I kept thinking he's never going to be able to play soccer again. He's never going to be able to ski and swim, and it's going to be a whole different life for him. And Denver in the back seat, looked at me and he said, Mommy, did I eat too many Christmas cookies? And is that why I have diabetes? And I just had to hold back the tears and be really strong for him. But that was pretty much how the moment of diagnosis went.
And personally, for myself, I was on a job site and got a call from Amanda letting me know that Denver had tested positive for diabetes, and I didn't really understand what that meant at the time. My only experience with diabetes prior to that is I had a kid growing up in the neighborhood that was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and back in those days, part of the protocol was you quit playing sports and you quit doing things that are going to agitate your blood sugar. So much like her thoughts, I was, kind of concerned about what the future implications would be for Denver moving forward.
And when we were at the doctor's, they did some tests, and and then they came in the room. The doctor was very, she was very, kind of sad, and just tell us the results. And she said I had diabetes.
As a parent, when I got the news about Denver, I I had to be really, really strong in front of them because I'm not one to usually cry in front of my kids. But as soon as he went to sleep that night, I just put the pillow over my head in the hospital room and cried and cried and cried. I thought about things like when I left the hospital, that bag that I held was his life-saving bag. You can't go anywhere without it.
The term ignorance is bliss could best describe my reactions. I didn't have much knowledge of the disease, and I didn't know what the protocols were to moving forward. So my initial reaction was, okay, well, now we have this challenge to face, and we'll figure it out, and we'll face it and move forward. It was pretty simple, straightforward. I didn't necessarily understand all the medical ramifications at that point in time. I just wanted to keep my family driving forward and moving forward and living life as normal as possible.
And then I didn't know what was going on. And then she told us to go to Children's Hospital and not go to our local hospital because they're just going to send us to Children's. And then they already made an appointment for me, so right when we got there, I just got right to the labs being done. And when I was in the car going to there, I asked my mom if I ate too much Christmas cookies because diabetes I did know about was type 2, and then she explained what type 1 was to me. She didn't know. She only had a brief description of it because she didn't know what it really was either. And then I also asked one of my main questions was if I could still play sports, and she said I could, thankfully.
Prior to diagnosis, we had been planning a vacation to head out to Vail, Colorado and go skiing for a week. And the doctor's appointment where we were diagnosed was on a Thursday, and we were supposed to fly on Saturday. At diagnosis at Children's Hospital, when they were explaining the disease to me, the first thing I asked is, well, hey, we've got this ski trip planned coming up. Are we going to be able to make that ski trip? And the general consensus was, no, probably not. But one of the doctors or one of the nurses said, you know what? You can make this happen. You can make this happen. And she was a positive reinforcement that you could make it happen. And so what we decided as a family was to push back the trip one day in order to get our proper medications and get all of our prescriptions filled. They were extremely helpful at Children's Hospital in procuring all of those medications for us, so that way we had everything ready to rock and roll, and we got everything, and we took off on Sunday, and we had a great trip. The expectations were, let's go, let's let the trip be what it is, but let's be together as a family.
I wasn't so keen on going, but Denver really wanted to go, and we didn't want to let him down. And we had to set the precedence that this is not going to stop us. Type 1 diabetes is, going to join our family. We're not going to let it run our family, and so we did. Not to say that I wasn't scared to death. And later on, Denver even admitted, he said, "Gosh, I thought I was going to die on that plane ride," but we made it. It was great. It was a great bonding time. I think we all needed it.
Denver, you said one of your first questions was if you could play sports or not. What sports did you used to play?
I played soccer, and I also did run a lot of races and stuff. So, yeah.
Which was your favorite sport? Soccer or doing a lot of races?
Probably soccer, because running, I did that the turkey trot on Thanksgiving, and races from my school and stuff. But I did do a lot more soccer than running.
Being athletic is very important to Denver. He's always been an extremely athletic kid. So when type 1, when he was diagnosed with type 1, it was very scary as the parent. However, Denver did not seem to care at all. He did not hold back. He did not slow down. So Denver didn't let anything hold it back in his athletics. For him, he's like, Mom, it's my outlet. I want to be like other children. I can't hear the beeps of my Dexcom. I don't want to hear the beeps of my pump while I'm playing. I want to go out there and I want to take my diabetes out on that ball, and I want to take it out on my run and out on my players, and he sure does. He's incredible. He's very inspiring.
Yeah, his athleticism, he identified himself as an athlete prior to diagnosis, and his diagnosis has not tarnished his mental perception as being an athlete. As a matter of fact, it's given him energy and strength to do it despite of this disease. And he doesn't want to let it hold him back, so therefore it gives him energy, which is great. The 60 minutes that he has on the field, it gives him that break to where he's not diabetic. He's just a kid playing a game that wants to win.
What benefit does sports have for you about your diagnosis?
So like this one kid like bullied me at school, and like sport was like my outlet to like get that anger out, and I put it out on the field when I play sports, and I think it helps me play a lot better.
What would you tell a kid who just got diagnosed with diabetes and they're concerned about if they could play sports or not?
I would say like you can like play sports, like definitely play sports. Like if you don't play a sport, like play a sport, and like if you like use your like anger or something about like how much you hate diabetes, and like use it when you're playing a sport and help that boost your ability on the field or court or whatever. And so like just don't let diabetes stop you. Just always follow your dreams and never give up.
I would tell a parent of a newly diagnosed type 1 diabetic to let them be a kid, to let them eat dessert and let them run out and run it off and play, and let them just enjoy being a kid. Being active and having type 1 is one of the best things you can do, because the minute that you're active, your blood sugar starts to come down. The trick is to make sure it doesn't go down too quickly, or that you know how to quickly bring it up, but let them be a kid, let them play, and let them get hurt. And they're going to get hurt, and they're gonna have low blood sugars. But you just have to keep an extra eye on them. But definitely keeping up the sports, even the teammates that will embrace them and just say, hey buddy, I'm here for you. One time Denver was at practice and he went through all his lows and he was still low and he didn't have any low on him. And I wasn't at this practice, and a parent, went and got him Coke and a piece of pizza and everything. And then at the very next practice, his teammates, one of his teammates said, hey Denver, you good? Because look, he held up this huge bag of candy. He said, I brought all this for you, man. We're not gonna let you go low. And that really warmed my heart. So just being a part of a team and letting them be active and be a kid is the other really great part of it too.
Yeah, for myself, best advice I can give to a parent of a newly diagnosed type 1, it's kind of like you need to have two visions on the disease. Imagine if you're going down a whitewater rapid and you've got rapids that are hitting you, and you need to react to the highs, you need to react to the lows, and you have to be responsive. But at the same time, you need to kind of hover at about 10,000 feet or 15,000 feet, so that way you can kind of see the ultimate path. And the ultimate path is trying to get to where you have an independent kid that knows how to manage it, and you're teaching them the tools so that way as they're hitting the highs and the lows, they're able to react. But as a parent, it's important for us to not freak out, not get caught up in that individual moment, but to look at things as a whole and to look at the whole situation. So that's the best advice I can give. And educate yourself. Read.
And remember, if you're not in the loop, you're out the loop. And that's facts.
If you're not in the loop, you're out of the loop, and that's facts.